When you're failing forward, you have a mentality of it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. I just need the right data so that I can keep playing the game. Hey, welcome back. We are in our segment, Millionaire Mindset Training. And this is so vitally important for each and every person that's going to go through the Life Mastery School. So do not by any means skip this section. Now, I know that I'm going to have people that come through Life Mastery School who are not wanting to be a coach, and that's fine, but you still need this segment as well. As a person of personal growth and development, you need this segment because you need to take on the right mindset that's going to allow you to grow and develop in the financial aspect of your life. And the financial aspect of your life is also, you know this by now, connected to your emotional state and your mental state. Okay. Even as a coach, before you get the certification, you still need to believe, have the faith and conviction that you are a millionaire already. You may not have the money may not have shown up yet, but you're already a millionaire. And understanding that this is the mindset that you have to carry for everything and anything makes all the difference in the world. This is how people are able to create the lives that they want to live. This is how people are able to create and live life in a way that is very fulfilling and rewarding to them, because before something happens on the outside, they've allowed it to happen on the inside. They've allowed it to materialize and manifest in here first, and then it had to show up physically as well. If you watch the webinar, I really go into the spiritual aspect of seeing something within here, your mind's eye, right? Your imagination is what we call it when you daydreamed as a kid, right? You're daydreaming. What do you want to be when you grow up, Johnny? Oh, I want to be an astronaut, and I want to be a police officer, and I want to have $1 million, and I want to buy my mom's a house, and I want to, you know, all this stuff. My kid talks like that. He's very talkative. So he's like, blah, 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 blah. And you just got to follow him. But he's 5, so hopefully he grows out of that. Nevertheless, you know, your imagination and your daydreaming and there's no limits. There's no cap on what you can achieve and what you can do in this life. And so we got to get back to that. We got to go back to that. And actually, let me even go deeper on that, because even as a kid, if you wanted to be an astronaut, what you would do was you would find a way to be an astronaut. You would find a cardboard box and make that box your rocket ship, right? If you wanted to be a fireman, you would make the cardboard box your fire truck. Right? If you saw something, kids do this all the time. They'll watch something and they're like, I could do that. And then they go and do it. You know, if they see someone out camping, guess what they want to do? They want to go camping. And so they'll find comforters and different things so that they can do what? Go camping. There's no limit. There's no limit. Anything can be the campfire and the s'mores, and they're not outside, they're still inside. But their imagination, there are no limits and caps and reality checks on their imagination, allows them to create what's in their mind to have and to experience. And so we have to go back and become like little children. We have to go back and allow ourselves to remove the cap, remove the limitation from our imagination, so that we can now see and visualize in our mind, in our imagination, where we're going and what we want to see, what we want to be, who we want to become in our future. And that will now allow us to become that person. Millionaires aren't millionaires first in their bank account. They're millionaires in their heart first, before they're millionaires in their wallet. You have to believe you're a millionaire even when you're broke. You have to believe you're somebody of significance even when nobody knows your name. You have to believe that you can make 6-figure income, 7-figure income, 8-figure income in your business before you actually do it. This is also the reason why lottery winners lose their money so fast. Within the 2 to 5 years, studies say. Lottery winners typically lose every single dime they won. Why? Because their external reached them at a point before their internal matched up to what happened in their external. Their physical caught them by surprise, and they weren't there spiritually. They weren't there inwardly. And that's why also too, when you read the stats and when it comes to lottery winners, you'll see that the lottery winners that actually keep their money are the lottery winners who were businessmen or businesswomen, or they had some type of financial background or understanding. So they had already grown within themselves to be that person. And then the lottery happened and they're able to keep that money and live off that money. I remember watching a show, and there was a businessman, his family, and it was, typical husband, wife, and kids, a girl and a boy. And you would have thought that they would have quit their business. No, he ramped up his business when he won the lottery. And yes, they relocated because, they were in an area that wasn't really the best, but it was okay. But they moved to an area where they could be comfortable, but still they were working. They were working that business. They were making that business work. They were, doing more promotion and marketing and advertisement to really build up that business. And people are like, man, you won the lottery, you're still working. He's like, yeah, what am I going to do just because I won the lottery? Isn't the money going to finish? Mindset. $1 million is not a lot of money when you have to spend money every single day just to breathe and live. Right? That money's going to go. You get $1 million, for example, you get $1 million today, it's going to go down by at least the next month. At least the average person's bills and expenses per month is about $3,000 to $6,000. It's going to go down. Well, every month that keeps happening, that money is going to go. And then because there's money around, many of us, we're still excited about money. When we see money, oh, we get giddy, we get excited, and we want to just add this thing and just buy this thing and just, find a reason to get and upgrade our car and upgrade the house. And well, this thing doesn't really admonish us well, so we have to custom design it, right? And so all these, and the expenses go up, and that money, which was once a large sum, now begins to evaporate. But understand, when your mindset is right, you already have a plan for money before the money comes to you. That's mindset. You're not afraid of numbers. And I run into this with so many of my clients when they really want to grow in business or they're having financial issues. They're afraid of numbers. They're afraid of math. Well, I never did well in math, or I never did well in school when it came to that. That was my weakest subject. Honey, I might not like math, but I like money. So I know how to count money. I know how to do things to make my money grow and multiply exponentially, right? So we find ways, a millionaire mindset finds ways to circumvent their shortcomings or circumvent the things that they may not be that strong in. But we're not going to be afraid of money. Money is our servant. And I want you to write that down. When you're taking notes, write that down. Money is my servant. I don't love money. I like money. I know what to do with money. Money enjoys me and I enjoy it. We know what to do. I don't spend money. I circulate money. So when I go and I purchase something, that money's going to make its way back to me. As I invest, it's always going to make its way back to me. That's why I'm never in a place of lack. I'm never in a place or a mindset of fearing for the next thing or what's going to happen. I may look and say, man, I didn't hit my goals, or this might not be where it is, but no problem. I'm going to get there. It's coming. Right? It's a mentality. It's a mentality. And a lot of times people ask themselves, well, how come if you win the lottery or millionaires and billionaires, why don't they stop working? Why don't they just go home and sit down and vacation? Vacation and do what? A millionaire mindset, it's not even about the money. And this is what you're going to have to really learn and get hard set in your heart about. It's not about the money. It's about the reward of the money. Because money, write this down, money is a product of self-mastery. Money is a product of self-mastery. Money is the result of mastering oneself so well that money has now been the exchange. Money has now come forward. Money has now come to fruition. Okay? That's what it's about. So it's not even about making the money. It's like, oh, I can set a goal. I can do certain things. And not only will I hit that goal, I will exceed that goal. That's exciting. Now, business isn't just about, oh, I have to make money to make ends meet. It's more like, I'm making money because I'm playing the game right. I've learned how to hone my skills. I've learned how to hone my emotions. I've learned how to hone my mentality, my mindset, so that I can produce a certain result. Right? I know how to, okay, if this worked here, I wonder if this will work like this. Can I double it if I change it just a little bit and add, it's like a formula. It's like the mad scientist and the alchemist in the lab. And they're just putting the chemicals together and they're just moving things around and there's this big explosion. It's like, yes, I needed that explosion. I needed that to happen. That's perfect. It's a game. It's exciting to see that you can control something, that you have the ability to control something to where you get the exact result, if not better results than what you intended. That's exciting. And the truth is, for many of us, we've lived life so long and in such a way that things haven't really happened for us the way we wanted them to work. Let's be honest, right? Can we say that? Can we say that for many of us, we've had goals and we've set goals, we've had intentions, we've had expectations, and those expectations weren't met. Those expectations didn't happen. We've gotten frustrated. Our lives just have not produced what we believe it can produce. And here's an even more frustrating position to be in. When other people, friends, family, loved ones, even complete strangers, oh man, that's the worst. But when complete strangers look at you and they're like, man, how come you're not on TV? How come you're not all on billboards? How come people don't know all about you? And you're like, man, and especially when that's what you've been striving for and been trying to do for so long, that can break you down. It can break you down. It can get you into a place and a schism or a perspective in which you limit yourself before you even put yourself out there. You don't want to put yourself out there anymore because you don't want to be let down anymore. You don't want to have an expectation of something happen because the last time you did that, you fell flat on your face, or it didn't really work out, or you're still having to pay Joe and them back because of the money that you borrowed, right? And I want you to understand that to millionaires, that's not a thing. Not that it doesn't happen to them, but rather it's not a thing that stops them or prevents them from moving forward. It's what John C. Maxwell calls in his book, failing forward. Failing forward. When things don't happen or things don't occur the way you want them to, or you expect them to, or you plan for them to, or you invested for them to, but yet you figure, what you understand is it's not a failure, but rather a failing. Failure is definite. A failing is a process. It is a continual thing that's happening, okay? ING in the English context is something that's a continuous thing. Swimming, going, running, right? That is a in-process thing. So if you're failing, go ahead and fail forward, failing forward, right? And so it's a continuous process and a thought mentality and a mindset that even though I failed, I'm not a failure. This is not a failure. I'm failing forward. I figured out how it didn't work. I figured out how it can't happen. I figured out what the recipe is not. So now I need to tweak a few things so I can figure out what the recipe actually is. And I've acquired so much data. This is why millionaires love analytics. True businessmen and women love analytics. We like the data. Give me the data. Give me the data. What does the data say? Because the data helps us to know how to take the next step. The data, the failing gives us the data to move, the data to pivot, the data to shift, the data to change. Because remember, the biggest key in having millionaire mindset is accepting failure, accepting failing, being okay with the failing. Okay? The other key we spoke about as well is not being afraid of numbers or math or money. Knowing that money always comes back to us. That's a big shift for many of us because of where we came from and our experiences with money. But you have to see it as a boomerang almost. Like when you're giving out money or you're paying a bill or you're sowing a seed or you're giving something to somebody or making an investment or you're hiring someone, you're paying your kids or you're giving your kids. That's money that's going out. That's going to come back to you, okay? But let me come back to this failing. When you're failing forward, you have a mentality of it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. I just need the right data so that I can keep playing the game. You know, I grew up in the era of Nintendo. And when you're playing Nintendo, and back then there was no internet. There wasn't like cheat codes that you can go and buy and purchase or, you know, all these little things these kids have nowadays. Back in my day, you were playing Nintendo and the thing would heat up and you take the card out and you plug the thing back in and you start playing again, right? That's when I was playing Nintendo. So when you would play a game, especially if you're playing like Mario, for example, right? You're playing Mario. And you're having to get a princess from King Bowser, right? And you had to play the game. You had to clock in your hours on the game. You had to fail. Like you had to hear that song over and over and over again so many times. You had to play the game. You had to keep failing in order for you to rescue Princess. There wasn't cheat codes back then, so you had to learn the game. You had to learn you can't jump on this part of the game. You got to go under, right? You can't try and get that mushroom, because if you get that mushroom is going to cause you to die. So you have to already be alive at this, or not alive. You have to be full grown, because you could be like small Mario, or you could be big Mario, or you could be dun, 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 Mario, right? Like Rainbow Star Mario, I think it was. So like at certain parts of the game, you had to already be full grown so that you don't go for the mushroom, but that thing is going to hit you, come out of the tube and hit you, go bam, 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 and make you small. But you can still be small because there's a mushroom ahead and you get that mushroom instead. And then you go through the tube, then you jump just at the right time. So then you now can face Bowser and win and get Princess. But there was no cheat codes, meaning there wasn't a way for you to learn all that stuff just by turning the game on one time. No, you had to play the game over and over and over and over again so that you can learn how to play the game, so you can hit the goal of winning the princess and getting Princess back. And that's that's the type of mindset and mentality that you have to have. I'm going to speak to you right now as a coach. As a coach, listen, if you feel like, and I have a foolproof formula, I have a blueprint, I have a cheat code when it comes to being a coach and carving out your niche and working that niche so well that people are just drawn to you like a magnet. I have it. But even before I give that piece to you, that piece will not work for you unless you have the mentality and the mindset that you're already a winner. You're already a millionaire. You just need a catalyst. You just need a vehicle. You just need a tool to get you to the millions. But as it stands, you're already a millionaire. Do you have the latest labels on? No. Are you living in the fanciest house and driving the best cars? No. But you're a millionaire. Yeah, you daggone Skippy I am. I'm a millionaire because I've already become a millionaire on the inside. I don't view failure as infinite or final. I view failure as a part of the game. And I'm just playing the game because I know at some point as I'm playing the game and I'm playing the game right and I have a great strategy, that strategy is going to get me to my goal. I just got to get to my goal one time. One time. I just got to get to my goal one time to make a big change in my life, to make a big change in my business, to make a big change in my mindset, to make a big change in my family, to make a big change in my marriage. One time. Right? And so understanding that and knowing that this is what it is. This is the mentality that you have to carry in order to succeed and win in life is pivotal.